Now, you know, when I saw this, I said, oh my God, I gotta do it. Who else is gonna start off with a good old console war but me, the king? And if you think people gave up on beef, pause. Well, Sega got a thing or two to say about a little plumber.
We all know that kart racing game. It's great. We don't need to show it to you. But what if you can blast through and race on a whole nother level? What if you could warp across different dimensions, fully customize and build out your machine, and compete head-to-head across different platforms? Or what if you want to roam around on the open road?
To hold the line, we gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Said what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted, this what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this wonderful Monday, next Monday, we'll be flying to Japan. So, next Monday's show won't show up, but I will be going live from Japan. Now, whatever time that is, I don't know. But the King is going to definitely bring you premium content for your ears and your eyeballs. Yeah. Well, if this is your first time finding the channel, you found your new best friend, me, the King. And I drop videos daily, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, where I go live on Saturday. Now, Friday, we do Fright Night Fridays, and that's on Frontline Gaming Streams, the sister channel. And we go live on that channel, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Friday. And we play games. Well, we play many different games. We play many different consoles. So join in, have fun. If you got nothing to do on a Friday, well, then hang out with us. It's a hoot. We have a good time. Now, we have a lot of topics today. We have Scalebound. Yeah, that's Scalebound. We also have a high-powered executive leaving Xbox. Yeah, that happened. We also have Japanese RPGs making their way to the Xbox ecosystem day and date. We love that. And we also have, you buy it, you try it, you play it anyway and anywhere you like. We have information on that. There's so many collections and so many exclusives and so many different games dropping in the Xbox ecosystem. The only person that can bring that to you is the King. We're chock full of games today, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Okay, so if you see right now, the Gamer China Business Development Lead, Microsoft is hiring for that, and this is essentially going to start filling the void in which Microsoft and Xbox was kind of absent with the whole China push. Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more on Xbox. We are on a mission to bring the joy in the community of gaming to everyone on the planet. We deliver that mission by putting players at the center, enabling players to play games you want the people to play. Now, this job posting has went up. It says travel is 25 to 50%, up to 50% work from home, Individual contributor, business developer, the employment position is full-time. Responsibilities: build, maintain, and foster relationships with new and existing gaming partners and executives in the region. Formulate partnership strategies for products, business, with input from relevant stakeholders to position Microsoft value proposition to influence partners' decisions, and so on and so on. They just maintain, and I could apply for it. But you have multiple locations, and this was posted 10 days ago. Now, your requirements is a bachelor's degree in business, liberal arts, science, or related field with 10 years of relevant experience and work. 10 years of experience spanning the account management, business development, strategy, and corporate development in gaming and interactive entertainment and other industries with a proven track record of executive publishing, distribution, and development and technology with deals and essential partners. Superb negotiation, analytical, and communication and customer partner relationship skills. Strong business acumen and ability to think strategically and execute tactically. And a couple other things, cross-function, work experience, blah, blah, blah. Preferred qualifications: passionate and knowledgeable about all forms of interactive entertainment and a deep experience in the console and PC gaming industry. This is to foster a greater relationship with those companies that are centered over in China. I told you they did have an initiative to do that. They were at, I think it's like a Game Joy, a China Joy this year, 2025. And Microsoft is taking a vested interest in that by offering a job position strictly centered in that region to globally grow Microsoft in those areas. I think this is a wonderful plan. Going forward, Microsoft and Xbox will see outstanding growth in those regions based upon hard work. As we've seen in Japan, Microsoft is taking that same strategy and pushing it to other regions. This will only bear greater fruit. As Microsoft and Xbox starts making the transition over to gaming / PC / Xbox / gaming / everything in the world, what Xbox is becoming. Xbox is ever evolving to keep up with the ever-changing times as people play on tablets, as people play on their Windows PC, as all these handhelds come out. Microsoft and Xbox is adapting to how gamers play and trying to be in every place that gamers are, but also bringing controller type sensibilities. So now you're able to long press the Xbox button on, like if you're playing on Windows, and it's able to switch between your apps and your devices. And I think that's smart. I think that's intelligent because you are supposed to start implementing these options in order to get a greater grip on the whole devices that you're playing, because you're playing with multiple devices. Well, Microsoft is changing how Xbox controllers work with Windows 11. You'll be able to long press on the Xbox button to get the task switcher for apps and games. Microsoft has started to change how Xbox controller operate in Windows 11. The change will allow Xbox controllers to easily access the task view on Windows 11 tab between apps and games using the Xbox button. A new change they're introducing is when you long press the Xbox button, it will open up the task view, explains Microsoft Windows Insider team. Pressing and holding the Xbox button continues to turn off the game controller. Now, we know that normally you press that button to turn it on and turn it off, but holding it longer allows you to pull up task menus and all that other stuff. This is essential for gaming on PCs and other devices that are not closed ecosystems like the Xbox console. And this is intelligent because Windows 11 is essential to where Microsoft and Xbox is going. Now, the strategic information on how Sony is going about their partnerships with their shareholders is actually out right now, and they started to address the public on what their maneuvers are going to be. Based off of the failed live service initiative, Sony is doubling down on their advanced position as creative leader in single-player experiences. Now, that can lead to a couple of things, but getting that information based off of what they put out, it's cool. It's cool to see them sticking to what they know, because fear of the unknown is incredible, and what they did was actually produce a whole bunch of fear inside the fan base, because they had a lot of failed projects that they canceled, or projects came out and it wasn't done right. So as much as, much has been made about Sony's approach to single player games this generation, but the reality is it still very much remains the forefront of a great solo software. And I agree to an extent. Because a lot of the titles that they do go and get aren't their own, and they money had a lot of titles that are single player experiences that can be had by everyone else, i.e. Black Myth Wukong that I'm playing right now on Xbox. And I feel that that game actually would have benefited from being on all devices at the same time. But knowing Sony's pedigree, Sony actually did exactly what they needed to do in a year or a couple of years where their offerings has been a little bit thin. So this year it's released a Runaway Game of the Year. Last year they released a Runaway Game of the Year, Astrobot. I don't think it was Runaway, but again, Astrobot came out last year to weak sales. Great acclaim, weak sales, and I don't know what else you do with titles like that. And for this year, they're going to get out Ghost of Yotei. Now, this generation, they released Marvel Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok. Death Stranding 2 is not their title, so we won't continue to be boosting that. But I don't know how far this strategy actually takes them. I think this strategy brings them right back to where they started from, the position of loss. But we'll talk about that later. This is just a pretty much more of what I wanted to see from them, to be honest with you. Let me preface this by saying thank you to 2K for giving all the Lords a copy of Borderlands 4. All right. So with that being said and that out the way, we actually played the game this week on Saturday and before, the Sunday show. But I also got a chance to play the game Friday. Now, I did not have any performance issues on my game. I played on an Xbox Series X. So a lot of people I hear are having performance issues with the game. And I think the performance issues itself is based upon the PC version of the game and not necessarily the console versions. I think the console versions probably play at a stable frame rate. And I mean, there's minor stuff here and there. And in this digital age, I've come to expect that. I didn't like the game in certain aspects based on the onboarding of the game. So regardless to what, we have a PC Gamer that brings you an article based on Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers. It's Randy's pitchfork's tone-deaf retort to its performance backlash. If you're trying to drive a monster truck with a leaf blower motor, you're going to be disappointed. I'm disappointed in that statement. And I don't think that the statement is being taken out of context based off of what Randy Pitchford has said in the past about pricing and stuff like that when it comes to the game and his overall protection of his baby type of thing. Now, what, some people are saying that, Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium gamers, and just a PlayStation 4 can't run Borderlands 4. It cannot be expected to run on an old PC hardware, he posted on Saturday. This is not a game made to run on a 10-year-old PC. If you're trying to drive a monster truck with a leaf blower motor, then you're disappointed. You can pretty much encapsulate what he said in that. A little bit more context kind of leads to other things. Now, in this day and age where a lot of people are wanting you to release your games on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and I believe the PlayStation 4 is the larger fan base out of the Xbox One, they will be the vocal majority in complaining about games not being released for that ancient archaic machine that should be buried in the backyard already. Wanting new games to run on that crappy hardware is illogical. Now, 10-year-old PCs, I'm not getting into that because I don't have a 10-year-old PC. Shout out to NZXT for keeping us up to date. And we're switching our strategic partners when it comes to PC going forward. And that's pretty much in negotiations at the moment. Can't talk too much. But I kind of get what he's saying, and not that I agree with his tone and how he says it. Again, you're selling the game to individuals. You don't want to put the people off. But as a person that has received the game, I don't have those performance issues on my Xbox Series X, and any hiccups that I did have was very minor. I do need to say that, again, his tone when it comes to certain things is off-putting, and I think that needs to be addressed more than anything else. So now we know that the target date for Insomniac's Wolverine is 2026, and that game was probably supposed to be out a long time ago if it didn't suffer one of the most catastrophic data leaks, breaches, if you will, hacks in recent history. The security, needless to say, let the company down. And Sony didn't pay the $1 million ransom, which led to further delays. So I guess they probably had to scrap the project and start completely over once the source engine was released to the public. But we did find out that the Venom project is still in development. Now, I have a couple of issues when it comes to the Venom project, knowing that the Venom project was assets that was in Spider-Man 2. We were led to believe that we would get a chance to play as Venom at some point in time in the game at a greater degree. And that turned out to be stripped away from the core game and is going to be packaged to us at a later date, in which we see here. So Wolverine suffers this great delay, and now it should be coming out in 2026. For all intents and purposes, we have everyone leaning towards those thoughts and ideas, and Venom itself is still in development, smaller title coming out at a later date. Platinum's boss takes the blame for Xbox exclusive Scalebound. Now, he takes the blame for it being a failure. He takes the blame for it being mismanaged. He takes the blame for the game not coming out. Now, one, it's been 6 months since we've last written about Scalebound, what they're talking about here. And he's, speaking from VGC, X Platinum Games, Hideki Kajama was asked about, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name, was asked about the experience in having a game canceled by Microsoft and whether the veteran developer believes it would have been any different had a Japanese publisher picked the game up instead. Here's his response. I do think it would have been different. I don't mean that if we had been a Japanese publisher, the game would have necessarily been completed or released, but I imagine that the process itself would have played out differently. Japanese companies tend to be more open to new challenges, and I think the conversations would have been more positive. Like, okay, how should we approach this together? For my personally, overseas publishers seem to have a much stronger desire to see a finished product as quickly as possible. If it had been a Japanese publisher, I feel it might have been given more leeway. That's taking blame and not taking accountability. Checks and balances in larger corporations in the Western world is different than in the Eastern world. And I understand the differences between both companies and basically how it can not make it over, the finish line. Despite thinking things could have been different with a Japanese publisher, the former Platinum dev who now heads up the new studio, Clovers, did go on to say the failure of Scalebound was ultimately the responsibility of Platinum Games, myself as a director included, effectively taking the blame for the game's cancellation. See, now that's effectively taking all accountability and blame and makes me remove that comment that I just made based off of learning more of exactly what he said. We ultimately do not know the ins and outs of Microsoft's decisions back when the game was canned in 2017. As we alluded up to the top, we also covered the game across game 6 months ago. Anyway, Scalebound. I got a chance to play Scalebound. I got a chance to see Scalebound. I got a chance to see Scalebound there. I'm going to tell you right now, ultimately, 100% not a good look. And maybe given enough time and resources, the game could actually did better. I think Microsoft felt that they gave too much time and resources to it and decided not to give any more. So, where fanboys all over the world consider the Xbox Series S a detriment to the gaming ecosystem, developers hail it as a boon. Many developers have come out openly and praised the Xbox Series S for helping them develop better and get more out of their code based on developing for the machine. And the latest dev to do so is the Battlefield 6 dev. Battlefield 6 dev says working on the Xbox Series S has improved the entire game. It made the whole game better and more stable. It's no secret when it comes to current gen console development, Xbox Series S tends to get a bit more of optimization due to its limited hardware packed into the Microsoft's tiny box. Pause. Now, I know and you know that given the constraints that it has, it does have technology in the box that is equal to or greater than the lesser tier on PCs. And this allows this device to actually be on par with the other consoles that are greater in scope. But what goes on with the Series S is you just got to get down to the metal. You just got to code a little bit better. You got to tighten up the code and it has less bloat. The Xbox Series S does have less memory than even our mid-tier PC. And even there was a point like, I want to say like 6 to 12 months ago when we were kind of realizing that a lot of our levels were crashing on the Series S. We're doing so much testing, we were collecting all this data. Once we kind of start running all our levels through it and we're able to see where the problems were, after a month or two, we're kind of resolved all our memory issues with the Series S. So it took them a period of time to resolve the issues. But once they resolved the issues, they realized that it actually made the greater game stable. Now, I can attest that playing Battlefield 6, it felt like the most polished demo that I got a chance to play, especially when it's coming from EA. A lot of times you get EA games, and I'm not going to lie to you, they aren't as optimized or well put together as this Battlefield demo. And I thought it was just because they really cared about the Battlefield IP. Lo and behold, it really boiled down to the Series S being the culprit in getting optimization for that game to as great as we see it now. And it's looking and sounding like all the optimization has paid off. The team has confirmed that the game runs at a solid 1080p 60 frames per second on the Series S, while the other consoles have performance modes to pick from rather than just one. Those targets are pretty impressive, given everything can go off in the middle of a Battlefield match, which is kind of crazy. But again, another developer comes out and makes a Series S owner a satisfied customer. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of Xbox channels aren't going to cover this, but I'm going to cover this because when Daryl Gallagher came on to the initiative project, the initiative development house, and took on the Perfect Dark project, we hailed it as a win, a boon, if you will. And Daryl Gallagher is industry giant, and he's still an industry giant. You know, the Perfect Dark project that the studio was working on at the time with Embracers Group's Crystal Dynamics was axed in this bloodbath that got rid of 9,000 employees across the whole Microsoft workforce. 12%, if you will. But what Daryl Gallagher had to say was that he couldn't be prouder of the talent and the passionate team that they had the privilege to assemble and lead, and together we set out to reimagine an iconic franchise and poured creativity into the craft and the dedication into every step of the way. The public reception and excitement for what we were building has been awe-inspiring and deeply appreciated by all of us. While the chapter is ending sooner than he hoped, the spirit and talented and achievements of the team will live on, well beyond the project. I'm grateful to Xbox for the opportunity, to our partners for their support, and for the community for their belief in what we had created. I leave with nothing but pride in what we accomplished together and excited for what is next, both for myself and for the amazing developers I was fortunate enough to work with. Daryl Gallagher joined Microsoft back in 2018. And with that, I get to say that I was excited when he showed up. I was disappointed when Microsoft closed the initiative and also shelved Perfect Dark, only to find out that 2K had interest in the title, but also had greater interest in holding the IP longer than Microsoft was comfortable with. I don't know what will happen with the IP, but I do know that Daryl Gallagher is definitely an industry giant, and he will definitely land on his feet. And I eagerly await any project that he has coming out because, again, when we got him, we thought that it would definitely get the project over the finish line. Who could have foresaw exactly Microsoft plans with the initiative? Now, if you didn't get a chance to get the RoboCop Rogue City, well, the collection is going to be launching onto the Xbox this October. 2 games and a few exclusive bonuses are going to be able to be had if you can get this collection in October. Now, I purchased, Rogue City. I didn't get the unfinished business, but now you're able to get, excuse me, the whole collection. And you get a couple other perks. You get 2 games in 1. You get 8 exclusive bonuses, the different suits of RoboCop. And, if you get the physical edition, you get the metal case. Now, in the store, the Rogue City Cop Extreme dropped to lowest prices. That's when I picked it up. And it's been discounted by 90% at the Xbox store. If you're willing to wait for a discount, you can probably pick these games up for less than $39. Then the collection is retailing for, of course, this game is part of Xbox Game Pass right now, so you can go check it out. But again, on October 30th, you're able to get the whole bonus package. The nostalgia is real. If you're into RoboCop, I suggest you try it out. I'll probably be streaming it tomorrow on Frontline Gaming Streams. Now, if you're into console exclusive, well, Xbox does have a console exclusive for you. If you're into space exploration, then Xbox has a console exclusive for you. If you used to or want to play with co-op, well, then Xbox has a console exclusive for you. If you like flying around into space, jumping on ships, shooting aliens or whatever the hell it is, or robots or whatever, then Xbox has a game for you. Xbox console exclusive Jump Space releases for just $19.99 this week. A mission-based co-op PvE for up to 4 players is available right now, and it drops September 19th. So, not available yet. All right. But if you're looking forward to this game, and I got a chance to play this game with others, I suggest you check it out. Jump Space looks like it's going to be a tour de force, but for $19.99, it does not break the budget. Now, the team is advising that a PlayStation version is likely in the future, but not officially planned at the moment. We're expecting Jump Space to prove popular, and when it finally lands on the Xbox Series X and S, as well as PC this Friday, we'll leave you with a bunch more details, along with some screenshots below for y'all to go check out. Y'all see the screenshots there, yada, yada, yada. The game looks great. But again, I'm playing the gameplay so you can actually see how the game moves. Looks good, right? Looks like something that you might want to play, right? Ha ha. Maybe the king might join you. One thing I can say about Borderlands is this. If you actually purchase the game and you are part of the Xbox ecosystem and you have Game Pass Ultimate, well, this thing actually does something fantastic. And I don't think you need Game Pass Ultimate in order to do this. I think just streaming itself is available for you. But stream your own game service through xCloud. Borderlands is part of it. As the list grows, 90 new games are part of that list, and Borderlands 4 has joined the ranks. So if you are a new Vault Hunter and you have purchased Borderlands 4 and you're on the go and you don't have access to your console, but you have access to a device that allows you to stream to it, well then Borderlands 4 is available to you. With that level of flexibility and functionality, I don't know, man. Xbox is looking pretty hard to beat. But again, Xbox itself is giving more to the consumer than the competitors. And when price versus service shows up, you got to really look, man, and say the price point for Xbox and the service that you're able to get with stream your own games, yeah, with Game Pass Ultimate, yeah. Boy, oh boy, I can see this thing getting out of hand very quickly. Did you buy Chronos? Are you stuck at home playing the game feeling like, man, I got a doctor's appointment and I got to get there, but I want to continue to play my game? Well, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, I got news for you. Chronos has joined Stream Your Own Game service to the xCloud, and you can take your games on the go. Now, I don't know what service does this other than Xbox, but Xbox got you covered. So again, it may not be in Game Pass, but you own a game, right? Why be restricted? Xbox Stream Your Own Games service is phenomenal. Look how flexible your game is now that is part of the Xbox ecosystem. Square Enix confirms that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Part 3 are coming to Xbox. Like I told you, Square has saw the light and they have turned over a new leaf. And in doing so, the full slate is showing up on the Xbox ecosystem. And it's play anywhere. Just like Final Fantasy 16 is play anywhere. Final Fantasy 7 is play anywhere, and Final Fantasy Rebirth and the next one will be play anywhere. And you know what play anywhere does. It allows you to play anywhere, baby. Now, I wonder if it's in Stream Your Own Games. With that level of trifecta, this takes this title to a whole new level. Now, early on, we got a proper release date for the Xbox version of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but that's not all from Square. Square Enix said that everything is showing up on the Xbox. Part 3 will not be the PlayStation Time exclusive when it launches on the future. That means day and date with the Xbox version. No longer will we be held back, put in the shadows, and told to wait. The day they get it, we get it. Oh, how sweet it is. Well, we've made it to the part in the video where I get a chance to talk about a whole bunch of things. Now, we was led to believe that the Series S was holding back Xbox, holding back the generation. And lo and behold, it was the PlayStation that was doing so. If you don't believe me, ask Randy Pitchford of 2K and Borderlands. A lot of people want the PlayStation 4 to be included into the conversation because they just don't want to upgrade to the PlayStation 5. I don't know what their problem is, but I'm upset with it. Actually, let that console die. Right. But the Series S is actually a capable machine. And once the developers got a chance to get a hold of it, they actually figured it out. They figured it out that that machine is actually capable. But more so than that, Microsoft and Windows is getting this merger thing together, coming together in a greater scale, because as the time is ticking, we're getting closer and closer to the Xbox ROG Ally X release and Xbox ROG Ally release. When those devices hit the street, Microsoft is basically forced to get this stuff together, because that interface, that operating system, that whole Microsoft experience is going to be pushed out to all those Windows devices, handhelds, all across the world. So Lenovo will get a chance to actually have that experience. But right now, Xbox is working hand in hand with Asus. And getting those devices up to snuff is the most important thing. But also transferring that level of experience over to the Windows 11 is of top priority. So doing the stuff with the controller is the smartest thing. Getting that stuff up and running and getting it in real life scenarios actually changes the thought process going forward, because you get a chance to get real life feedback off of what's going on. Now, with Wolverine showing up this year, well, next year, and this year they're absolutely optimizing the game. Hopefully, I get a chance to see a little bit more of said game sometime before this year is out. I do look forward to going to the Sony's booth, seeing Ghost of Yode and other games like that before I get a chance to purchase Ghost of Yode in Japan with actual yen, which will be crazy. I'm going to film the whole experience. We're going to talk about it. We're going to be going over stuff here on the channel. I'm really excited for what is to come. Yeah, very, very, very hopeful. It's very strange going to a foreign land that you don't speak the language and doing interviews. So that itself is a challenging thing, and we look forward to taking care of that challenges. So shout out to HyperX with making sure that I got the Solidcast 2 so I can be broadcasting to you guys. And also you're going to see mic change here on the show because, HyperX and HP send me the Flipcast, and that's going to be utilized here. It is the simultaneous XLR and USB dual output connections. This device has LEDs that is going to spruce up the King's show. All right, so again, shout out to our partners over at HyperX and HP, and also our partners at Volari. You'll see Volari heavily integrated into majority of the things that we do over in Japan, because we're taking our Volari pillows with us with our partnership with Volari. If you haven't got yourself a Volari pillow, trust me, you're doing yourself a disservice. It helps with your posture, it helps with your gaming, and it allows you to game longer. So definitely check out Volari. I'm taking it on this flight because I'm going to be sitting down for 13 to 14 hours. I need my Volari pillow. Now, also, I want to shout out to our another big sponsor going to Tokyo, Japan, in Insider Gaming. Insider Gaming is one of the premier gaming networks, if you will. And we are part of that with Iron Lords, and we are proud to be partnered with them going forward to Japan. You will see a lot of coverage with Insider Gaming and Xbox over in Japan. Look forward to that. Look forward to that happening, and more stuff to come in the future. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on. I do like to see the banter and the rivalry between Sega, and Sega's not going to stop. Sega's going to always continue to strive to be the best. And just because they changed doesn't mean it was over. So I say that to say, just because Xbox is changing and showing you different forms of themselves going forward doesn't mean that the fight is actually over. You've seen Tim Dog come back to the Xbox ecosystem. I kind of told you guys, PlayStation was going to have to play nice. Now, I do have some PlayStation information, and I do have all the financials, and I do have all the strategy points, and I do want to give a dedicated video to that. So I'm going to be doing that dedicated video based on that. Today was just a lot of information. So if you're looking forward to RoboCop Rogue City and you want to get the full package, then you'll be able to do that in October. If you want to see all the exclusive stuff that we got going on, then just tune into Iron Lord's podcast, or you can go to Frontline Gaming Streams and see the stuff there as well. We did stream Borderlands 4. Like I said, shout out to 2K for getting me that review copy, and we actually doing a live review, playing the game with everyone there. The game is actually a whole lot more fun with friends. So Claptrap got it right. He needs friends to get it going. So listen, I ain't going to hold you. But this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. If you've seen anything that you like here, hit the like, subscribe, and, sub and share it out. Share it out to people. Just, and leave a comment. Leaving comments actually goes a long way because I respond to every comment, even if it's just a thumbs up. I do. And if it's a thought-provoking comment, then, not too long. Please stop leaving diaries. But, something cool. We could talk about it because we play games. We're gamers, right? We should be able to talk to each other. But I'm going to do like I always do. I'm going to go with gamers game and winners win. And I'm going to tell you, try to play the Game Pass.